What's up, guys and gals, and welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be diving on into a preview of Colony Ship, a post-Earth role-playing game. It's tempting to say post-apocalyptic. My tongue almost did it just because it's so used to seeing those words lumped together. If you don't know who this game is by, you probably should. This game is by Iron Tower, and for those of you that are kind of in the indie scene, you will know what that means. Iron Tower is the developer that's responsible for Age of Decadence, which in my opinion is one of the few truly unique RPGs made over the last 10 years or so that really sort of unapologetically didn't care if you got what they were kind of trying to do with that game. They just did it anyways, and their forum posts very much attest to that. Iron Tower and Age of Decadence. Age of Decadence is a game where consequence was a big part of the game. It was effectively an ultra-realistic RPG set in a Bronze Age fantasy sort of Roman universe where everything was hyper-deadly. It was an RPG where combat existed, but combat was not encouraged. In fact, you were really sort of expected to try to talk your way through things most of the time because combat had this weird way of going really sideways unless you were a super combat-focused character. And so anyways, Colony Ship, I assume, will probably still fall kind of underneath those purviews. So anyways, my best guess is that Colony Ship is probably going to fall under that purview as well. Iron Tower is known for making very unique games that very much stick to their guns despite sort of like complaints and people wanting things changed. Like they tend to have like a very real vision of what they want the game to be, and they don't really budge off of that. And given the level of consequence and the level of character building and sort of the level of just realistic things that took place in Age of Decadence, I can only assume that this game is going to be similar. So let's dive on in. Let's make our character. Let's get started. This video may run a little bit long. It may be a little bit dialogue heavy. We got Hezekiah. That's a sick name. Ooh, that's the portrait for me right there. I've already found it. What kind of face do we want to have? I don't know. Can I zoom in? I mean, that seems perfectly workable to me. What kind of hair can we have? Yeah, we can go with the slick back. We got to make our character match our portrait, though. I hate it when my character doesn't match my portrait. There we go. I am pleased with the options that have been afforded to me. Apparently, we can have tattoos as well, but I don't really have any tattoos on my portrait, so I guess that's right out. There we go. Perfect. And then we can decide if we want gloves. What kind of gloves are there? Let's take a look. Yeah, I think like a professional. An operator has gloves, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna name my character Splat, just so that, you know, we're unique from everybody else. Over here, we have 16 available points that we can use to allocate towards our stats. We have Strength, which is your ability to push, pull things, and melee damage. You have Constitution, which is your ability to basically withstand and also increases your HP and implants. You've got Dexterity, which is all about your action points and how much speed and reaction you have. Perception, which is all about your weapon accuracy and awareness. Intelligence, that affects the number of specialized skills you can have, and also the number how fast you level up and learn. It also affects interactions requiring understanding and insight. And we have Charisma, which is all things peepo, but it does actually give you stat bonuses to kind of like your group's performance and the amount of people you can have inside your party. So you're going to need like a little bit of it if you want to have people inside your group, but everything maxes out at 10. Also, we can't subtract points from any of this. Let's go ahead and allocate our points up front. I want to be kind of like a revolver-wielding cowboy gunslinger. So I'm going to go for Dexterity and Perception, a little bit of Charisma so that we're a little bit roguey, a little bit of Intelligence so that we can talk our way through stuff, a little bit of Constitution right there for some extra HPs, and maybe the ability to have a few more implants. And then maybe I'll put like a point or two. Let's put a point or two into we'll put 1 in strength and we'll put 1 in intelligence. One thing I really like about this character building is that they show you your derived stats changing as you put points in and take points out. I cannot tell you how much it annoys me in RPGs where you're just supposed to take it on faith, like what the stats do, and you kind of just like allocate them and you don't know exactly what bonuses you're getting. Like, I hate it when character creators do that. It just drives me up a wall. And so I'm really glad that they actually have a thing down here that updates and tells you all your tabulated values before you go any further, so you don't end up wasting your time So anyways, we got to pick some tagged skills. These are the skills that we're really, really good at. We were going to be a gunslinger, so I'm going to go with pistol skill is tagged and also a skill point. We can't take anything higher than level 2 as of right now at the beginning of the game. That's kind of a bummer because, like, accuracy is really bad at the beginning of the game. Like, even if you have really high dexterity and you put your point into pistol, you still only have a 75% chance to hit, and that's before the enemy actually sort of applies their dodge, their evasion to that number. So as of right now, against like most characters, we probably have about a 60% chance to hit. Just basic, assuming that they're also kind of built for that. Pistols are cool with me. What else do I want to be good at? Let's go with lockpicking. Lockpicking sounds rad. We've got 2 more points that we can allocate, but let's go with our feats first. You can pick some feats over here. You can get 4 free movement. You can get free stat points and skill points. You can get a quick draw, so on your first turn, you get 15 initiative. And you get +4 action points on your first turn. Pretty good for a gunslinger. You can be an opportunist, and so apparently whenever you hit somebody with a reaction shot, like an Overwatch, it adds stagger. It looks like we can have quick fingers, which makes us do kind of manual dexterity tasks faster. You can lone wolf it up if you want to play by yourself. That gives you like a fat stat boost for playing alone. We've also got Tough Bastard, which basically makes you uncrittable. Not uncrittable, but close to it, and then gives you some extra HP. You can have Grit, which gives you kind of a lot of resistance bonuses for being out of cover, so that like you're not the kind of guy that hides. You can get AP back when you kill somebody. You can get extra implants. Looks like we can get a higher critical chance for our next attack after killing somebody. We can also get an extra tagged skill and some extra XP. Looks like we can get Gladiator, which gives us melee bonuses, and it looks like that's most of this down here. Inside the Gunfighter tree, we can take Gunfighter, which means that we can snap graze +10 and our reaction +20. That means that we basically counterattack every single time we get shot at, which is not bad if you've got a weapon that's got a lot of ammo. Looks like we can take a specialty in, like, I guess, blaster weapons. We can get a ranged bonus for aimed shots. So that's pretty nice. It also gives us armor penetration, which I think is pretty sexy. We can get, Pistolero over here, too, which gives us pistol accuracy. Foof. Tough call. I don't know how frequently we get feats. I'm going to go with Pistolero, I guess. Yeah, Pistolero sounds good. We'll take that, and let's apply the rest of our points. I'm going to go with Evasion over here, and I think I'm going to go with, what does that do? It hastens your shuffle to a jog and make you quicker in combat. Okay. We did put in some charisma, so maybe we go with persuasion. I mean, we are trying to be kind of a Han Solo-y rogue, you know, kind of not as good as Han Solo, like Bong Solo maybe, like not as smart, but definitely still trying to attempt to be a rogue. And let's start the game off. This right here is basically kind of our setting. It is the year of our Lord 2754. You will never feel the sun's warmth under a blue sky, never hear the wind in the branches of a tree, and never swim in the ocean, because you had the misfortune to be born on the ship. You have never seen Earth. You will never see Proxima Centauri. Your past and future have been sacrificed by a dim and nameless ancestor to a greater good of the mission. Starfarer, they called her. A pretty name for a retrofitted interplanetary freighter. She'd already been 20 years in service when she was rechristened and showing every minute of it. No one is certain the ship will actually reach the destination, and nobody really cares, since nobody alive now will ever live to see it. Fatalism is the prevailing philosophy of the shipborne. Make the best of life you can and consign all your what-ifs and might-have-beens to the void. If you click on this one right here, it's going to give us kind of like an Ultima/early Elder Scrolls startup, where you answer a bunch of questions about what you would do with your sweet roll. It's going to give you like bonuses and negatives to certain groups of people, like the religious or, you know, like the law enforcement community. I'm going to skip it for the interest of, like, we've only got like 30 minutes to play around with this video, and so anyways, I'm going to skip on over it. Speaking of which, if you wanted to get this game for yourself after we get going, you think it looks rad, I'll have a link for you down below in the description so you can check that on out. On top of that, you can also check out all the links to my social media, like my Discord, my Twitter, and my Twitch stream, where I would love to be your host at each of those locations. Forgot to do my spiel, man. I forgot to do it. It's part of the ritual. You guys probably miss it if I don't. You open your eyes to a gray whole metal ceiling, one panel of which flickers yellow, indicating the day shift. You overslept, not that it really matters. With a grunt, you roll off of your stained mattress and open the window to let some fresh air in. Like everything else around here, fresh is kind of relative. The ship does its best to recycle the air and water, but the cargo holds aren't high on her priority list. You breathe in metal and burning oil and look up. 4 of the bridge's 6 projectors are still operational, shining dully down on the container towers of Cargo Hold 3, better known as the Pit, the Free City. Calling the pit a city is kind of a stretch, but so is calling this reddish-brown liquid water. You've read that water's supposed to be clear and that cities are supposed to be big, but no shipborne has ever seen either. Maybe in another 100 years, water will look and taste like oil, and people will be talking about the good old days when it was the color of rust and tasted refreshingly bitter and tangy. That's the kind of optimism that keeps you going. The elevator crawls up a groove and the cargo holds wall like a black steel bug that's worn a path traveling to the bridge and back. It's time to get up there and earn a few credits, but first, you need a drink. Alright, so we gotta go to the Whiskey Jack. Let's do it. I've played through this, so I know what's coming, so be aware this is not my first impressions of the game. In fact, this game, so it's an Iron Tower game. I don't know how many times I could say that, but basically, like, in the vein of Iron Tower games, this is kind of one of those games that you sort of, like, need. It's really, really good and fresh the first time you play it, but there's a lot of stuff you've really got to, like, struggle through and figure out in this game, and, like, there's a lot of trial and error involved, and so after fiddling with it and doing, like, re-records and, like, playing around with the game, I was like, you know what? I just need to, like, learn the first couple sections and, like, understand what's going on. Otherwise, it's going to be a really bad, unsatisfying video. Because there's going to be a million cuts of me struggling and being frustrated. So another day, Splat, says Xavier, raising a cup to the black blend of chemicals that pass for coffee aboard the ship for at least a generation. Looks like it. You got any plans? I got a job on a diving crew. Taking another sip. They lost 2 men last week, so they hired me on the spot. Must be my lucky day. Diving? Yeah, diving into the mission control ruins. It's like a maze down there. Sealed doors, corridors, entire decks. They cut the power to kill the auto defenses, which didn't make things any easier. Now there's demand for divers who can open doors the old-fashioned way. Yeah? Can you give me any pointers? Yeah, I can show you the basics. The rest is up to you. See this lock right here? And we gain some insights into the world of lockpicking. Very nice. Okay, so let's continue on. I don't think that guy does anything, and I don't think you can talk to most of these people, so I'm not even going to worry about it. Let's just go to the Whiskey Jack, and then we'll do the fun part, which is buying all of our equipment after we go to the Whiskey Jack. Because we started out with kind of this craptastic pipe pistol. Like, it's absolutely awful, believe me. It's a terrible gun. You're going to die explosively and awfully if you use this gun. I promise. What can I get for you? The bartender spotted you looking over the assortment of unlabeled plastic gallon jugs, each its own with unappealing liquids in some shade of brown. Rat poison. The ship provides the basics of human survival: recycled air, recycled water, end tabs, recycled nutrients, minerals pressed into chewable tablets. They taste like cardboard, but they're free. Those who like the finer things in life, like synthetic meat with a side of algae, well, they're gonna have to pay. Because the forefathers disapproved of the drink, the ship was never configured to provide alcohol, but the law of supply and demand supersedes the dictates of religion, and everyone's favorite vice is widely available. Each bar has its own secret recipe. The wise drinker prefers to leave it a secret. The bartender gives you a nod as he sets a beaten alloy mug on the table and fills it with a black, oily liquid. You take a first sip, fighting your body's instinctive rejection of poison, and wait for the familiar warmth to spread throughout you. After a couple of moments, the world is a slightly better place. Got a job for you, says Tanner. You interested? Yeah, what kind of job? Easy one. He pulls a plastic rectangle from a compartment inside his sleeve and slides it towards you. The card is old and worn. The color is long since faded, but the raised print on the the front is still as clear as the day it was stamped. A2, Armory Level 2, the holy grail of every scavenger on the ship. During the mutiny, the rebels looted every depot on the first level, but the automated defenses on the second stopped them dead. Literally, those same turrets have dissuaded every scavenger since. Is this real? Is it real? Don't insult me. Alright, so everybody's been looking for this thing for decades, but you're the one that found it? I have my ways. Yeah, well, let me guess. You had the card and you alone figured it out? Not quite, says Tanner. I alone figured out how to find a man who changed his identity and died in obscurity nearly 100 years ago. He pulls an energy pistol from his belt and hands it to you. This is the sidearm. Changed his name, but he couldn't change the serial number on the gun. Once I found the serial number, the rest was easy. His granddaughter sold the pistol 20 years ago. You sure the card works? Only one way to find out. Go and see for yourself. When you come back, we'll have a proper conversation. Alright, I need somebody to watch my back. Take Evans. I saw him at Abe's store earlier and the dumb bastard almost shot me. What do you think we'll find? Whatever it is, a lot of money. We hold out for the right buyer and we'll live like kings for the rest of our days. Okay, well, let's go get equipped up, because I'm aware of what is coming, and you definitely should equip yourself before going any further. I'd like to buy a gun. Yeah, show me your pistols here. Alright, so there's only one pistol available right now for a gunslinger like myself. They do start you off with, like, one of each gun, just in case you wanted to like play around with different setups or whatever. I'm going to keep the energy pistol and just sort of put it down here at the bottom. I don't know if I particularly need the energy pistol, but I'm going to take this gun right here, the Bulldog. And then on top of the Bulldog, we'll trade that on over. I still got 800 credits left. I have 25 bullets for my Bulldog. That feels like somewhat okay to me. So I'm going to close that down. Next up, we need to buy some equipment and some armor just to make sure we don't absolutely get wrecked in the face. So let's go ahead and browse the area. We can get a bullet vest over here. Our character has a bullet vest on right now. These are kind of heavy, but we could get a bullet vest. It's going to be expensive, though. There's also supplementary items that are good for skills, like smart glasses and respirators and things of that nature. I'm going to buy some arm guards, I think. I think I'm going to buy a helmet. That sounds pretty good. And then I'm going to buy this leather jacket over here. That sounds great. And we'll trade that all over. And that's pretty much tapped us out. We're not completely and totally broke yet, but check this out. This game has a layered armor system. So, like, we have our bullet vest on. It puts the jacket over the top. And then on top of that, it'll put the bracers on over the top of the jacket. And what's impressive about this is that there's no clipping. There's always clipping. Every game that I play that has layered armor, there's always clipping. But there's no clipping, dude. It's like a miracle. It's like a miracle. It all looks smooth. It all looks good. I'm wearing yoga pants right now. I gotta show off my sexy butt while I walk around town and be like, yeah, I got a case of yoga butt. Everybody look at my post-apocalyptic yoga butt. All right, so anyways, you put in the time, man. You go to Pilates, you handle your business, and frankly, you reap the rewards, okay? They wanted us to go to Honest Abe's, so that's exactly where we're gonna go to pick up our first party member. Here is Evans. Being a gunfighter is a quick and easy way to make a living in the pit. All it takes is a gun and some guts. It's also a quick and easy way to wind up dead, but the kind of men that are drawn to the gun always think that they're going to live forever, so Evan learned the realities of his new trade the hard way. The first time he got lucky and killed a man as he fumbled the draw. Riding high, Evans called out another old hand who put 3 bullets in his chest and left him for dead. Lucky for Evans, a stranger patched him up and he survived, but today he looks like a man whose luck is just about run out. Splat, what brings you to these parts? He asked, the bolt-action rifle still pointed your way. Got a job. And job, eh? Evans pretends to think about it for a second. Yeah, truth be told, I got a job for you too. All you gotta do is stick around and watch my back while I deal with these thugs. You do that for me and I'll do whatever you need, no questions asked. Deal? What thugs? Jonas sent some gun thugs to harass Abe. He nods at the storekeep. Abe here went to the regulators, but Braxton said he can't spare any men, so you and I both know the bastard doesn't want to get involved. So Abe hired me to watch the store. But the son of a bitch didn't say a word about Jonas until I agreed. I ain't no coward, but I don't want to go against Jonas alone. He runs the town, for Christ's sake. Alright, what does Jonas want from Abe? Money, what else? His thugs said anybody who does business in the pit gotta pay taxes or pack up and go. I told Abe he should pay, but he don't want to listen to reason. He wants to die, that's his business, but now I'm going down with him. Alright, well, we can wait and see what happens here. The gun thugs show up around noon, a man in his 40s who moves with slow confidence and a brash young man eager to get himself killed. You got Jonas's money, demands the kid, looking tough. The older man stays quiet, keeping his eyes on you and Evans. What money? You deaf? Asked the kid spitting on the floor. Jonas's money. He owns the pit, so now it's time you freeloaders started paying your fair share. It ain't gotta go this way. And which way is that? Says the older man softly. You can see he's counting heads and running odds while the kid's talking. You leaving his store in a body bag. Might not be me, he says, smiling. It's not a good smile. You willing to bet your life on it on what might not happen? That's one hell of a gamble, friend. You saying we leave empty-handed, scoffs the older man? You have a feeling he wants a way out, and apparently the kid gets the same impression. And then what? Collecting tax is one thing. Killing folks over it's another. You cross that line and you're dead as dirt. Have it your way, the old man says. We're wrong. Or we're going. The kid tries to protest, but for all his talk, the only thing he shoots is a black look. The door hisses shut behind the gun thugs, and Evans breathes a sigh of relief. Gunfire erupts outside. What do we do now? He says, visibly shaken. I guess we'll see it through. It's your call, says Evan. I reckon I'll stick with you until this thing blows over. All right. I don't know how to thank you, says Abe, wiping the sweat from his forehead. The ruffians, they would have killed me dead. God knows I don't have much, but I'll give you all I can spare and then some. Turns out Abe could only spare 2 small boxes of ammo, 50 rounds each, but it's better than nothing. What are you going to do now? Pray for less excitement in my life. What else can I do? Alright, well, we can browse the wares over here. Doesn't look like he has much. You got an ammo cell for an energy weapon, just in case we wanted to get that going. But hey, we got a bunch of ammo, so that's great. He can take both of these. I have no need of either of them. Alright, let's see what's going on outside with the gunfire. Rumor has it Captain Braxton once served a higher power, and in the days before the crisis of faith, he was known as the faithful gunner Jeremiah Braxton among the Church of the Elect. There's plenty of talk about why he left, but as often the case, no story is more compelling than others. Backed up by a few like-minded men and picking up recruits along the way, Braxton left the church and wound up in the pit, where good fighting men are always in high demand. Around the same time, the Brotherhood started nosing around, eager to establish a foothold here. Braxton and his regulators offered the good people of the pit their services, and after much debate, they were hired to drive the Brotherhood's men out, which was accomplished with brutal efficiency. You see Braxton and two of his men standing next to the bodies of the gun thugs. "Thank God you're alive," says Braxton, holstering his gun. "I saw them leaving the store, and I assumed the worst." "What happened here? What does it look like? They opened fire and we returned it." "They weren't eager to draw on me, yet you expect me to believe they started shooting at you and your boys not a minute later?" "I paid them to start a fight at Abe's store, not to run away the first chance they got. None of that changes the fact that the pit needs a makeover. The problem is, Jonas doesn't really run the town. He keeps Main Street nice and clean, but doesn't give a damn about the growing camp town around it. Or maybe he just doesn't know what to do about it. Either way, he's going to lose control soon enough, and then what? Chaos? Gangs fighting for control?" "Alright, so what? You're the hero we deserve? If it wasn't for me, the pit'd be the Brotherhood's boot camp right now. And if I'm gone, well, I can't say I like your man. I'll pass. Hope you reconsider before it's too late, and if you do, come see me in our headquarters." That's really interesting. I played this through before, and if you kill the guys inside in a gunfight, he doesn't tell you that he hired them to come in here and shake the place down. He tells you that Jonas did it, and that Jonas is a bloodthirsty murderer, and he sets you off on a quest to go assassinate the other guy that's vying for power here. And then when you go talk to Jonas, Jonas says, "I didn't send a young man over there. Both the guys I sent were in their late 40s. You know what I mean? Like, he reveals that you've been played. And so already, like, just to make you aware, there's intricacies as to the way that that's played out. And for me, it's played out at least 3 ways so far in my repeat, just kind of messing around with the game and trying different options. "What are you going to do?" asked Evans. "I haven't decided yet. What's your take? What's that saying? Better the devil you know than the devil you don't?" So there's that. Sometimes I wonder whether the devil's going to let it all go to hell. Jonas did build this town, but that's as far as he's going to take it. He did a good job keeping everybody on their best behavior at first, back when the pit was more of a camp, but the bigger the town got, the more lawless it's become. Braxton? These men do a good job patrolling the decks around town, but I'm not sure I'd want to see them patrolling the pit and telling folks what to do. If he ends up on top, who knows how far he'd take that law and order thing. Although probably not as far as the Brotherhood would, so there's that. Alright, well, I'm not going to pick a side just yet. There's a little secret door over here. Let's go activate this secret door. Ooh, I didn't reload my gun, so it's a good thing I talked my way through that, ain't it? I almost gave myself the old dead man's click. A woman is half asleep in an old worn-out chair, a half-empty bottle of whiskey on a makeshift table in front of her. "Lord giveth," she sighs. "How'd you like to make 500 creds for 5 minutes of work?" "Why?" "You passed 2 tests. You picked the lock on my door. To be fair, the lock is shit, but it takes some skill. And second, you clearly have a certain moral flexibility, otherwise you wouldn't be here. What do you want me to steal?" "A key. How else are we going to get in?" "Why steal a key if you can pick the lock?" Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Just because you can pick this lock doesn't mean you can pick any lock. Some locks are too tricky and other hardly locks at all. Alright, so why do you need me? He knows me, so he'd be on guard, and that's why I need you. Who is this guy? Samson, ex-military, favors Jones' establishment. But he's tight-lipped even when drunk. My guess is he came into some money. Decided to disappear. Can't find a better place in the pit. He keeps a low profile and rents a cheap room, but it's all an act. I saw him skulking around the outskirts one day and followed him. Led me to his stash, but it's locked tighter than a steel drum. How do I steal the key? Easy, let me show you. Oh, cool, she leveled up my stealing, dude. Hell yeah. Let's go rob this guy. Time to do some criminal stuff. Time to do some criminal stuff. Time to do some criminal things. Gonna go and find a criminal's key ring. Alright, so here's our boy in the bar. Let's see if we can rob him. Samson gives you a sharp look when you move next to him, clearly fighting the urge to tell you to piss off. Order a drink, there you go. Seeing that you're just another customer, he relaxes and switches attention to the serving girls. Work our magic? You couldn't get to it. Aw, weak, dude. So apparently I gotta level up my stealing a little bit further, because it's like a flat, like, you either pass or fail this. Feels bad. What if I tell him that Gia's gonna rob him? Samson's face turns white and he storms out without thanking you. A good deed is its own reward. Hold on, let's go watch the chaos. Something bad's gonna happen over here and I want to be a part of it. The place is empty. All that's left of its recent occupant is a half-empty bottle of cheap whiskey. Oh, they're probably both over here then. One thing I do really like about this game, no load screens. This entire map is all like seamless and you just walk in between doors and stairways and whatnot to get around. Well, I found a crate back here that had some armor in it. Let's go like dig up some combat or something, dude. I want to go fight somebody. That's what I'm in the mood for. Let me get on in here. I'm gonna put these new pants on that I just found though. There we go, some pants with some knee pads. A little bit better. Evans, you got anything good, man? You got that rounder revolver right there. I'm gonna give him this gun that I found inside that crate with the boots too. This fire 9mm, is that what it shoots? Okay, it fires 9mm. We'll reload it real fast. So he's got like an offhand option. Let's go like find a fight around here. All right, so I got a quest from this guy over here at the building labeled !jobs. And apparently somebody's being shook down by a gang. So maybe that'll put us in like a high conflict situation. I'm willing to make this video a little bit longer since there's been no action thus far. But like, you know, we gotta find somebody to put the scow on, dude. We gotta give it to him. Do I know you? He stares in your general direction, his pupils so dilated it's like looking into bottomless holes. Earl sent me. Yeah, good. You know what the job is, right? If things go smoothly, I make the deal and you get paid for doing nothing. That's what I'm hoping for anyways. But if the Grangers go weasel on us, you need to stand up and fast. Remember that. If I don't get paid, you don't get paid. All right, dude. Let's do it. You follow him to the outskirts of the pit. Beyond the densely populated center, the environment ironically gets more orderly as the towering container stacks fall into endlessly perfectly squared rows. Nothing here seems to have shifted an inch since the ship left Earth orbit 1,000,000 years ago. Soon, you arrive at the only open container in sight, a dull glow within signaling a human presence. 3 men stand silently about a portable heater, the ship equivalent of a frontier campfire, minus the good cheer. You got it, the man in charge says with a voice hoarse and low. The left side of his face is disfigured with gruesome saucer-sized scars, like vicious sucker marks. From one of the rippled craters, the angry orange light of an ocular implant is doing the duty of a missing eye. You can't help but wonder about the tentacle that delivered the kiss. Everybody's heard stories, of course, but you felt better telling yourself they were exaggerated. Chance yanks a dusty old control module from a belt and tosses it to Scarface. The Granger man glances down on it, no more than a quick take, and tosses it on the ground. What's the deal? Chance's voice fights the tense silence like a mouse struggling against a snake. You wanted a tower control module, I brought you one. Where's my money? I got shit to do. He cuts his eyes at you, both in a naked appeal for support and to give himself a break from looking at his mark. Scarface isn't so interested in Chance anymore, though. The implant's giving you a hard stare, and you're guessing he's doing more than staring. Judging by the design, it's military hardware, and it's locked in and analyzing the target. What if I can get the module for you? He contemplates your offer, and he says then you'll get paid and well, but as far as I know, the only place you can get one is the Mission Control Center. Your friend claimed he knew a diver who recovered the module we need. Since he lied, I assume it's still there. I told the last 2 divers we hired to check level 3, but I guess it's a hard place to reach and they didn't come back. I'll find it. Good. If you make it back, come and see me at our camp. My name's Gideon. Well, hell, as it turns out, I think I'm just too good at talking my way through things. I think I'm just like too good at conflict resolution, man. What's going on over here? A couple of local junkies are loitering near the entrance to the alley, probably waiting for a victim. I got a gun, bro. I don't care about that. Whoa! Look at you strolling in like you own the place. He shakes his head. This is our territory. You pay me first, then you can be on your way. How much? 50 credits? Nah. Bulldozer. Customers refusing to pay. Knock some sense into him, yeah? It's kind of a bummer that it started us out point blank like this. But it looks like we act first, so maybe we'll be able to be okay. Kind of hard to say. Alright, well, start combat. Evans is over here, and he has that other gun, right? What's his hit chance? 52? Yeah, do that. Yep, just like 5 shots to the ween, dude. 5 shots to the ween. Oh, it's 6 AP to use that? Feels bad. Okay, well, run away then. Run away! Yeah, I kind of want these guys to waste all their AP chasing me, so that when they get to stabbing, it's not quite so bad. Ah! He's shooting at me. That guy's got a baseball bat, which concerns the hell out of me. Luckily, he only grazed us, so that's okay. I can't shoot at this range, unfortunately. I can shoot at him, though, but I think he might get a reaction shot. I'm not sure. All right, 10 damage right there. We got 9 AP left, which means technically I can reload and I can fire again. There are different firing modes. We can do snapshots. We can do aimed shots. We can do kind of like different bullseye things. We can do aim for the legs, which lowers their evasion. We can go for arms, which lowers their AP and their hit chance. We can go for center mass, which is going to lower their constitution. We can hit them in the head, which has a chance to like knock them out. It's really up to you what you want to do. I guess I'm just going to take my chances. If he gets a reaction attack, I guess he gets a reaction attack. Yeah, dude, we're just gunfighting in the middle of the street right now. Why not, dude? It's a little rough out here, but we're going to take care of business. Oof, that's not good. That's actually, like, really, really bad. He might die. Ugh. And of course, I gotta reload, man. There we go. That guy's dead. So we don't have to worry about him anymore. Obviously, I'm not super happy with the way this is going right now. But it looks like he was able to get away. So the real question is, do I shoot? Like, we could go for the leg, I guess. But that's only going to kneecap him. Dude, I think just getting him as far away from that guy is the best plan right now. Oh, he went after me. Okay. Fair enough. Ow, dude! Damage hurts so much. Alright, well, I'm falling back. You can do what you're going to do. There we go, dude. This is it. This is your moment. This is your moment to shine. Yeah! Okay. Phew! Just barely pulled that one out. Good lord. Like I said, Age of Decadence was deadly like this game too. This game is quite nasty. Free truncheon, just in case you wanted that. So there's a truncheon. We also got a worker jacket, which is cool. We can give that to our party member. And then over here, we've got guns, knives, bullet vests. Yeah, I'll loot it all. Why not? I'll take everything. We got hot dog on a stick on this side. You can tell him to do the bouncy thing on top of the pogo stick for lemonade if you really, really want to. They may try to shoot you, though. It's just a bad neighborhood, man. It's just the way things go. But as far as the atmosphere of the game goes, I think they've done a pretty good job with it, man. Like, the game is really, really difficult. I think that's my main problem, but it's not really like a legitimately objective problem. Like, Age of Decadence was really, really hard, too, which is why I kind of bounced off of it my first time around. But I had a much further playthrough that I played around with where I did better. And while I didn't end up finishing it, I still, like, enjoyed it. So anyways, this game is called Colony Ship. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for stopping on in. You can get the game down below and also leave a like on this video. It helps me out as a content creator. I will see you all next time. And I hope you enjoyed your stay. I know it was a lot of talky-talky, but there's a lot of things that I'm kind of stoked about with this game. It looks pretty good, and just like the fact of who's making it makes me curious, and also the variation in like the quests that I've seen so far based on your answers, and the way other people hear about the things that you've done and react to them makes me sort of interested in how interconnected this all is. I'll see y'all later. Thank you for stopping on in, and that's all I got for you.